So the MCS started in Madden 16, and it has, I mean, we've seen different iterations, but at its very core, it is the highest level of competition inside of Madden. So we've seen everything from, back in the day, from, 17, 18, 19, we had the club championships was the most popular one where we had 32 players, each representing an NFL club. We had our COVID era tournaments, which was a adventure. 20 we were in person, and 20 we had clubs, and then 21 we only ran 2 tournaments because that was the first full year of COVID, and we ran a full club series in COVID. But then it sort of changed to this new era where we're running, tournaments more around. We had the ones that were around the holidays. We had Ultimate Thanksgiving. We had Ultimate Kickoff every year, which is right around the kickoff, and now we're running these around the MUT programs. But no matter how many different iterations there are, at the end of the day, it is the highest level of competition in Madden, and it is, if you're just looking for the best of the best, there's not really anywhere else for them to go. It's not like there's 10 other leagues out there. It's not like there's a bunch of different places these guys compete. The MCS, and that's where I think it's interesting, is because there's so few esports where the developer is the one that's running the esport. You look at the League of Legends of the world, and you look at the Valorants, they're all run by third-party companies.
Yeah.
The fact that EA puts on the MCS and funds the MCS, I think it's what makes it unique.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, talking about like the third-party companies that like run these tournaments, I think off the top of my head, the only other one that I know about is the CDL, and that's for like multiplayer, Modern Warfare and stuff like that. So it's definitely like really unique, and it gives the guys like a really good opportunity.
Yeah, and EA is not. EA has done it for a lot of things. They run the ALGS for Apex. They've run the E League for FIFA. Yeah, I think, I just think it's. I don't like putting labels good, bad. I don't know. I don't think it matters. I think it's just interesting. I think it's what makes the MCS unique. And one thing I think we're proud of with the MCS is the fact that we've been able to, over the last, I've been here since Madden 19, and we're in Madden 24 now, so this was 5th Madden. We've been able to increase sort of the top level of player to where they're making, Madden Bowl winner takes home $250,000.
Yeah.
Back in 19 when we ran the clubs, like the clubs was the biggest one in Madden 19. That was a $100,000 prize. And that was a big deal then.
Yeah.
The fact that we're giving out $250,000 to a winner and $150,000 second place in the Madden Bowl, and then, we've got these now monthly tournaments where we're giving out $30K. Like, that's,
Yeah.
It's big money for anybody. And then you think about half these kids are 18, 19 years old. I mean, imagine getting handed a $30,000 check at 19. Like,
Henry's earnings. Henry is what, 20? I think he's 20.
20. He's not yet 21.
Yeah, I think he's 20. He has $800,000
change. Yeah.
Yeah, in earnings at 20
he will have a
years
chance at the Madden Bowl to be the first Madden millionaire.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. It's crazy. First Madden millionaire at 20 years old.
Yeah, but I think that was always the goal. When we talked about what's the goal with the MCS, 5 years ago, there was to allow some people to be professional Madden players as their job. Like,
yeah.
we didn't want people to. And I use the colloquial we. It's not like I did anything for this. I'm not writing any checks. But, the community wanted, these people not to have to, like, play Madden during the day and then go take another job at night, or play Madden and stream. Like, you want to be able to compete, and that where the competition is. And so the fact that we're able to do this small, but I think, there's always going to be more to be done. I think there's always going to be people who want more prize pools, and we're always looking to expand it and see if we can't increase that number of people, because the more people that are professionally playing Madden, I think the better content we can put out, the better games we can put down, and the better, not just entertainment value for the viewer at home, but the more people who are young kids at 10, 11, 12 and going, wait a second, this is something that I could do, like I can get good at this. And I love hearing the stories of these kids whose parents are supporting them playing esports. Like, my parents told me to go outside. It went well for me.
I mean, they're now getting college scholarships.
Yeah.
Like Noah,
Yep.
Dez.
Yep.
They all have these college
D-Croft.
scholarships.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy to see.
And it's only going to increase from here.
Oh, definitely, entirely. I mean, every single year, more and more of these players are getting college scholarships, and it's a hugely beneficial thing as someone who is getting her master's degree. For me personally, I think college is huge. I think college is definitely a good step. And I mean, to be supported by a school where you can play Madden is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and you get into, we always talk about with, college athletes, like, apart from the top 1%, there's 99% of college athletes are going to go into some sort of career that's not athletic. So giving a college degree is a big deal. And so it even more applies to, Madden players where, for better or for worse, there's a drop off. Like at the end of the day, there's a reason why we don't have a ton of 35-year-old Madden players winning belts. It is, the younger players are always going to own this game, and you're still going to have great, players who are, I'm using older in quotes because I'm 33 and I get called old, and I'm not. Pay no attention to the child I have at home and the tiredness. But, you're always going to have those guys, the veterans who are good. But at the end of the day, like, Henry's 20. I mean, Dez is, and, we had Kobo. We had all these guys who are, under the age of 23 years old being successful. And so then when that time comes where you're no longer at the top of your game and you're not winning whatever, $800,000 over 3 years, Henry, like, you're going to need something else to do. So these guys are getting college degrees. I think that's a big deal.
No, definitely. It definitely is. Can you talk a little bit more about belts? Like, what are belts? Because we throw the term belts out there left and right, but like...
They hold your pants up. This is not complicated.
Okay, in terms of Madden.
Oh, you want Madden belts?
What's a Madden belt?
I don't know why, but we in the MCS just really want to be the WWE. That's it. We want to be the WWE, so we gave out belts. I don't know, the championship belts. We've given out... This weekend will be our 32nd belt we give out. Goes to the champion. They do a new design every year. The designs have changed over the years, but they're all different colored straps and text and side plates and all that. But this will be the first year we actually don't give out a belt for the Madden Bowl. We're giving out a ring for the Madden Bowl this year. That'll be the first Madden Bowl ring we give out. But
it's like the trophy, basically.
Yeah, and it's
so along with $250,000, you'll get
you also get jewelry.
Ring.
You get jewelry.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, I haven't seen it, but from what I've heard, it's a pretty nice ring. So I think they're just giving out a ring because Henry just doesn't have room for any more belts. He's got 7 of them.
He's got 7.
And he still might get more. I mean, he's not here at this one, but there's still one more challenge before that. So, and there's just not that many 8. There's not 8 stacked shelves. Like, you got to put 2 4s next to each other. Yeah. So I think they were just like, let's just give him a ring, see if he can get that. So
who comes close to Henry? Who else has as many? Well,
not
who else has
nobody.
More than one.
Nobody.
Belt?
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Who else has more than one belt?
So in the multiple belt club, so right below Henry, the only one currently with 3 belts is Michael Skimbo, who still might make Madden Bowl this year. I mean, he's not that far out. Like,
no,
he is always going to be the top of the game. And then you got a group of guys at 2, include Drini, Dez has 2 belts, John Beast has 2 belts. So there's
doesn't Noah have?
Noah's got 2.
Noah has 2.
Serious Mo has 2. I think that's it. I think it's 5 at 2. And if I forgot one, edit it in now. See, I loved it. And then there's a whole list of people who have gotten 1 belt, and you can go back to 16 and 17, Stiff getting a belt, and Dubby's got a belt. I mean, we've handed out 32 belts total, but there's it's an elite group. It's when you think about the ultimate kickoff this year, we had a little over 21,000 people sign up to play, and 1 person took home a belt. I mean, that tells you the exclusivity of it.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And seeing as this tournament for me personally is the first time seeing Dotimus in a live, and it's the first time Tori has been.
We're gonna have a first time belt winner no matter what.
Yeah,
this is a unique final where nobody has a belt, and we have a group of guys who have not only do we not have a belt winner, we don't have a live final here right now, and that's insane. None of these guys have ever made a live before, so this is truly uncharted waters because you talk about tournaments and there's always the talk of like who's the draw, who's the star power, and you'll have those tournaments where it's Henry and it's the storyline is who's going to knock off Henry. Will Henry go do it again? You'll have the storylines where you'll have the well-known names like Wesley or Clef. Will they, get their belt? Are they the favorites? John Beast in his run. Even like with Kobo last tournament, like he was a guy who had been there before. But this is the first one where it's like these guys who, if you're in the Madden community, you know the names, but the average person tuning in to Twitch to get their drops and learn about the MCS, they're going to be looking at this going, I have no idea who any of these guys are. And, I think that's our job from the broadcasting side is to make sure that we tell the story of these guys so that, at least by the end of the broadcast, they go, oh, I remember that Tori is, the former Division I basketball player, went to Cleveland State. I remember that Dodamus is from, Northeast Ohio with the sweet sunglasses, like whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's Abrams. Abram's the only one that's been here before. Abram is the only one, and it was 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Yes, it was 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
It was 2 months ago. He's the only one with a live final here, and that was 2 months ago.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. I mean, looking at the last few tournaments, I mean, there's always at least someone, well, to me, what I consider a big name in the Madden community. There's always, Henry. There's always Drini. There's someone who is qualified.
Someone who you can tie yourself to, yeah.
Exactly. Like someone who's like a big name, who you've seen their names multiple times at least before. And this tournament is, to me, it feels really unique.
Yeah, this is the most wide open Madden has been in ever. I mean, and which is wild, but the change went this year. The Madden Championship Series decided to go to single elimination. Ladders into single elim as opposed to double elim, so bad breaks happen. It's a video game. Like the fluke gets you and you lose a game. There's no like, okay, I've got one more chance. You're done. So I think that creates, we're getting Final Fours with a lot more new people, which I think is a good thing. I think making stars out of people that we haven't seen before is a good thing, and getting more names out there will help people tie as we continue through and continue to do these tournaments. If they make more live events, I remember him. I remember watching his first tournament. But, at the same time, we've had such great success with the watch parties going into these tournaments. It's been the best action we've ever seen going in. And more guys are streaming their games because they've seen, Henry stream his games and win a tournament. And it's, while there may be a perceived competitive disadvantage, the advantage of having people have eyes on your product, the advantage of playing underneath the pressure of knowing that everybody's watching you, the advantage of knowing that if you're gonna get to the Final Four, you're gonna have to show your stuff anyways, so you kind of have to do it. We've had the best watch parties ever, and the qualifying going into it has been, for some of these tournaments, has been better than the tournaments themselves.
Yeah, no, they're always super entertaining. I always watch like the watch parties, and they're always really entertaining. You get to see all these new perspectives on people and how they play and everything. And how do you think that cross-platform has really played a part in it this year?
Boy, there were a lot of PC players talking trash before this year.
Oh yeah, and
none of them have qualified.
No PC players have qualified.
Sorry, PC guys. Sorry.
You know what I thought was really funny is the amount, because I'm a PC player, the amount of people who are sitting there like, PC gets to compete with us, but what about their cheats? I'm like,
oh, nobody's cheating very well right now.
No one's cheating.
No, I mean, the cross-platform I think has been, it's been really good because just for no reason other than like it opens up the possibilities for matchups. Like there's no hiding on any side of the tournament. Like you got to win wherever you are. So in general, it's positive. It has been, for the most part, functional, which is a great thing. We have had very little issues with cross-platform, which is a good thing. There's some stuff that has always been in Madden that I think has been a little highlighted more with cross-platform. East-West lag and stuff like that. That's just got to get fixed at some point. But for the most part, cross-platform, especially from a competitive standpoint, has been great. There's been no hiding. Where I play on PlayStation because all the good players are on Xbox. Tough Nuggets, like everybody's everywhere. You got to play everybody.
Yeah, definitely. So can you talk a little bit more about the East-West lag, just for people who aren't familiar with that, who don't play competitively?
All it is if you match up, if you're playing in Seattle and you're playing somebody who plays in Charleston, South Carolina, whoever's the home team, because they're hosting the server, is going to have less lag than the person who is on the other side. It just is the nature of internet gaming.
It's ping and
it's all. Again, it is something that is. It's tough because Madden it's built differently. If you play Call of Duty or you play Counter-Strike or anything like that, you get a lag spike or whatever and the ping goes up. You might drop out of your game, you just hop right back in, no big deal. Unlike Madden where it's all contained in one game. Like it's not like, if I'm in a Overwatch game and I lag out of a game, I go, damn, that sucks. All right, let me just hop into another one and it's no big deal. Like it's the same concept, but when you have a matchup it's important that you're playing against player B and it's in a tournament and all that and you lag out, it's like, okay, now I gotta reset this game and all that. It's just the nature of the beast right now, and I'm not going to pretend to even remotely be a developer or an engineer that can solve this issue. I am far too stupid. It took me 8 years to get through college. That's all I got.
Well, do you want to go a little more in depth on who you are, how you're related
if you
to
want,
Madden?
it's your show.
I'm
talk
just about
here.
Talk
I've been up
about
since
it.
5:30. What?
Who are you?
Who am I? Hi. My name's Nick. I like long walks on the beach and cuddling. My wife would not like this joke. So that's pretty cool. No, I am
You're the voice of competitive Madden.
people say that and I
That's your
disagree with
Twitter
them.
bio.
That's sure. Yes. I am the play-by-play voice of the MCS, and I do a lot of competitive commentary, especially inside of Madden. And about 50% of the people like me. About 50% of the people want me to shut up. So I'm going to call that a win.
Love that. I think that you're great. I think that you do a really good job.
Thanks.
It's always very entertaining.
I, at the end of the day, entertain myself, and that's fun. And they haven't fired me yet, so it's going to be really awkward if this comes out and I got fired. So
No, I don't think
please
you
don't.
will.
Please don't. I have a baby at home.
I don't think you will. I think you'll be fine. How did you get into casting competitive Madden?
So when I was in college, I wanted to do broadcasting, and I had an overbearing mother that said, no, you're not going to do broadcasting. Them's the breaks. So when I got, I almost said out of college. I was still in college, but I was messing around. I was actually looking for a Madden franchise to play in. Because I'd done some online franchises in NHL before, but I was like, I like football. I should do Madden. It was Madden 16. I joined a league who happened to also be doing content. They were doing broadcasting, all that, and I was like, hey, can I get involved with this? Like, this looks really cool. Like, you guys are calling the games like an NFL game. That's kind of like what I want to do. Like, it's looks like fun. They went, sure. Ended up running the network for 4 years and doing that, and then back in it was Madden 19, so it would have been 2018, end of 2018, early 2019. EA held a contest called the Shoutcaster Showdown, where they were looking to audition people. You submitted they put up 2 clips, 15-minute clips. You called it, and then they picked 3 people to fly out to San Francisco and call the Madden 19 Club Championships, do a game. And I was one of the 3 people that got picked, and did my two games out here, and in the winter of, it was actually my birthday weekend of 2019, and then ended up just getting a contract from that and finished out that year, and I've been here since then.
Nice. And how do you like it? Obviously, I mean, you stick around, so
Yeah, I have a lot of fun with it. I enjoy commentary in general. I've always been a commentary nerd. Like I they're the people that watch the football games with it muted. I watch them, I'm listening to the commentary intently, and I know the guys that I like and the guys that I don't. But no, when I got into it, and when I really got into it, not like, the first couple tournaments was like, I'm getting paid to do this, really? But once it was like I was into it, I've always said that my pie in the sky goal is to not just elevate esports, but to become the first broadcaster to go from esports to live sports. Nobody's done that before, and it's why I don't like the term caster.
okay.
Caster is a very esports term. You
It
would not
is.
call Jim Nance a caster.
That's the term that I use because I've been around esports casting.
Exactly. And
that's
again,
it.
and it is you know, I'm not like offended when people call me a caster. Like, I don't. It's not that big a deal.
You're
But when
taking
I
shots at
refer to
me now.
myself, huh?
You're taking shots at me now.
Yes. But I think the people who call me a caster are dumb, and I hate them. No, I just.
All right, we're ending.
We're
this.
done. We're out. Oh, thanks. It's been fun. No, it's just like when it is. I think when people say the word caster, they have a picture in mind.
Okay.
And I think, or even worse, a voice in mind.
Okay.
And I think there are a lot of good casters in esports. I also think there are a lot of very bad casters in esports. And for better or for worse, that's kind of why I try to stay away from the term. I prefer commentator. Yeah, like you just want to, but
I mean, it's in my mind, I've only been around esports casting, so that's why I call it casting, but I can definitely
I mean, again, and I still say I cast for stuff, but I don't know, it's an effort to elevate esport. I mean, listen, esports is going to continue to grow. There are more and more kids playing video games every day. There are more and more kids realizing that they can play video games and be good at them, and it's an outlet for kids. It's a competition. And so it's going to continue to grow, especially in a world where we're learning more and more about head injuries and stuff. Sports are continuing to evolve and change, and so having other things that kids can be competitive is a good thing. So I think we're going to continue to see esports grow, and as esports grow, I want esports broadcast to get better. I think there's some really cool stuff being done production-wise. It is truly the, on camera and, the cadence and all that is very raw right now across all esports, and some of them are doing it really well, and then there's some you watch and you're just like, what are we doing? Have you talked to human beings before? And it's in the same way that I said early on. So when I started with my franchise league, they all called me OSU because that was my gamer tag. And when I got started with EA, I made it a point to stop having people call me OSU and to call me Nick, because nobody in a professional world goes by a gamer tag. Yeah. And that's, I mean, again, I understand. I'm not trying to, just totally take a crap on esports, but, it's what frustrating to me is when you're sitting there and you're like, we've got, the $1 million Valorant championships, and our casters this week are FartMonkey99 and Craigleston, and you're like, dude, we're giving out $1 million and we can't know that his name is Jerry, come on, let's take it more seriously, please.
I mean, when you put it that way, it seems a little bit unprofessional. I mean, there's certain people, I'm not gonna name names, but there's certain people,
but you know who you are.
No, there's certain people out there that are commentators for professional esports, and they go by certain names, and it's their name is part of their username, but when they're referred to as their full username.
And again, it's one thing when you're an analyst at the desk. It is one thing when if I were to bring you on the desk to talk about COD, it would be weird to call you your government name. Everybody knows you as that. That's what I would do, because we're in your space, so we're going to use what you're known by in that space. And it's one thing when you're the analyst, in the same way that in wrestling, if you were to bring up a wrestler on stage, you wouldn't call them their government name. You'd call them their wrestling name. Yeah. But as a play-by-play commentator, you should have just a name. You're the play-by-play guy. And it's a frustrating thing with me in broadcasting, because I think a lot of people think it's easy and they think anybody can do it. And it's not. And so just because somebody has played insert game here does not mean they can call insert game here. Yeah. It doesn't mean they can be a good analyst. Yeah. They can be on the desk and provide insight and be this is what I would have done here. And I think that's what we've done a really good job in the MCS, is bringing those smart players onto the desk and letting them tell the stories of, this is what's going on here. But from a play-by-play perspective, where I am trying to describe the events that are going on the screen, you don't need to, I'm not a professional Madden player. I play Madden, but I'm not a professional. And all these guys would beat me handily. I'd be done in the first quarter. I'd just walk out. Yeah. But I'm good at my job because I have the skill set to do play-by-play. And it's specifically the play-by-play commentators who are I'm Kinsey Kid, and it's what are we doing? Can we just be adults? I always think esports sometimes comes off very childish, and it's like, it's why I don't want to like get pigeonholed in esports. Like, I'd like opportunities to do other things, and it's why I'd love to stay in Madden forever if we can grow it. I don't know if we will, but I'd like to, because I like Madden and I like the community. But yeah, I don't know. That's my soliloquy on why I don't like gamer tags as names.
I mean, it's totally understandable. It's like, at the end of the day, it's like a professionalism thing.
Yeah, I mean, but it's different everywhere. I mean, in the same way that, like, if I was like starting streaming, I probably wouldn't go by Nick Mizesko. Like, that'd be kind of weird. Kind of like I held up my license to the camera, like, hello, this is my address. Like, I'd come up with something more interesting. Not gonna lie, I'm having a very distinct memory that I actually created a Twitch, like, God, it had to have been 2015 or something, and I did not have a name, so I let some program create one for me, and I'm 90% sure it was Taco Slayer 45, and I was like, I'm gonna rock with this for 2 weeks. You should probably come up with something else.
Taco Slayer 45.
Uh-huh. And looking back, it's not great. Because it's a food thing, but it's also not a food thing.
And here we have on the desk,
hi, I'm Taco Slayer.
Slayer 45.
Please welcome into the Madden Zero Chill Challenge. My name is Taco Slayer 45.
That's like another thing that I don't think people, if you want to be a professional, you should not have numbers in your username. I'm even
like, for example, we work with user, and then one great user.
Yeah.
Cool. A, he's an analyst, so awesome. And B, is one great user. I'm perfectly cool with that. If it was one great user 6969XX, I'm like, dude, can we like shorten it up a little?
Yeah, no, I mean, the numbers on the names is like something that honestly,
lowercase x, capital X, underscore, smiley face.
No, the one where it goes lowercase x, capital X, one great user.
Yeah.
Lowercase x, or capital X, lowercase x.
Yep.
So it's even on both sides. Yep. That one is what gets me. But for people looking to get into Madden, I mean, this is maybe their first time watching the MCS, their first time kind of researching players, whatever it may be, people looking to get into Madden or get into competitive Madden, what do you have for them? What do you say to them?
3 things. Start by watching Twitch. It doesn't have to be the top players in the world, but watch any Madden streamer, you'll learn something. I guarantee you they're probably better than you. So you'll learn something. And on top of that, watch the MCS. Shameless plug. You get to hear this voice. So start there. Number 2 is pick up the sticks. Just play. I don't think you have to start in, like, again, the MCS is in Madden Ultimate Team, so certainly there's a monetary commitment that people aren't willing to start, but you can just get into regs and just play games. Like, there's nothing that can... I cannot understand how important it is just to play. And, I do recommend, like, going and getting an ebook from one of the guys that you watch, and because all these guys have ebook sites. Get an ebook and run one of their offenses and just get used to playing a professional offense and find something that you like. And then, I mean, the unique part about the MCS is anybody can compete. If I want to play in the NBA, I can't just walk onto the floor and be like, LeBron, you and me, buddy, one-on-one. That's not how it works. But in the MCS, you can. So sign up. We've got, for the rest of this year, we got one more tournament and then the Madden Bowl. And then, as far as I know, we're keeping it the same next year. I don't know. They change the format every time I turn around, so they might change it. But, just sign up. And at the very least, you'll get a free item out of it. You get a free card for playing.
Yeah.
And at the most, you play ladder weekends and get experience playing against the top competition. And who knows? I mean, heck, we're going to get a new belt winner this year, so... This weekend, so I say weekend, it's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday, tournament's on a Wednesday. I mean, other than that, though, there's always other tournaments. I mean, you said about regs, like getting into it. I mean, I was talking to Tori earlier, and this is Tori's first season playing MUT. He has never played MUT before August of this year. Yeah. And so just what he was doing last year is he said he was playing regs. That's all that he was doing. That's all that he was playing is he was playing regs, and he was playing reg tournaments, and he was just doing reps and regs and stuff like that even. I mean,
I mean,
tournaments.
there's underground
held
tournaments. You
all
can
the
play
time.
Madden Ultimate Team and play in things like Friday Night Football, play in the Gulag. You can play, breaks tournaments on Players Lounge. You can do anything. Like, it's all about getting the reps. And, eventually you're going to, I can't tell you the number of stories of guys who, I was playing regs or I was playing mutt, and then I ended up matching up against so-and-so and, played well against them. And they were like, hey, they're really cool. Like, you want to lab together, and then you end up having a group of people that you're playing with. That's more than, listen, the money is cool and belts are cool and, everybody hopes that they can be at the top of their game. But more than anything, Madden, finding friends and people who like to do the same thing in a group of people. I have the number of people that the guy who got us to move out to Arizona from Michigan, I met through Madden. Like, I met through the league that I was in. Another one of my good friends in Cleveland who I see 10 times a year, it's met through Madden. Like, it's a community, and it ebbs and flows, and I think just being a part of that is important. So, just go play. Like, and also, hey, it doesn't, this actually is not about what you can do to be better. This is what you can do to be a better person. Don't say bad things about how people play. Like, who cares? If you play franchise, cool. If you play mutt, cool. We don't have to trash everybody. Can we be nicer humans? The more you know.
Well,
That's
thank
it.
you.
I just want people to be nicer.
Yeah.
That's my only goal. I changed my mind. Can we start this whole thing over? I changed my mind. My goal is to make people nicer, and that's it. I'm basically a Sesame Street character.
I love that. Just make everyone nicer.
That's all I want.
Have a good time.
Yeah.
Be friendly.
Hashtag party.
Well, thank you very much.
Of course.
I appreciate it. Where can people find you? Plug yourself.
Usually your local Taco Bell.
Taco Slayer. Taco Slayer
I'm
45.
a big cheesy gordita crunch guy, so check me out. Usually in Arizona at a Taco Bell or some sorts. But if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's Nick Mizesko. Good luck spelling it.
I'll put it on screen.
You don't have to. It'd be really fun to see people search it. I'd be all in on that.
Your name
one.
is probably going to be in the title of this episode anyways. So.
Damn. Where do you find me? EA Madden NFL Twitch streams. I'm here a lot. So
every broadcast, he
here.
is the voice of competitive Madden for a reason. So
you're welcome, America.
Okay, well, thank you. I think that's good. Is there anything else you wanted to say or add?
Taco Slayer 45. Just never forget. It actually, I looked it up. It's true. It was actually a thing.
It was Taco Slayer 45?
Yep.